Hello, good morning, class. And happy Sunday to you all.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. You are most welcome to another fruitful diet. My name is Mr. Ali Adewale. I'm among the facilitators of SFM. I'm going to take the theoretical aspect, that is the models of SFM. I wish you the very best in this diet. God will crown your effort with success. To start with, we are looking at some models that are very relevant and important in the syllabus, which our exam question can be centered on, because we have to look at the syllabus word for word as if we are reading an exam. So the model we are starting with today, we are looking at boosting consulting growth model. We are going to discuss on the CSF, the meaning of CSF, critical success factor, key performance indicators. We are going to discuss on the SWOT analysis that we all have a very deep background about. Lock-in strategy, the meaning of the lock-in strategy, why is it important, hyper competition, and ego answer matrix. So within 2 hours, we have to do this. And I pray that God will give you the spirit of knowledge and retentive memory. So to start with, we are looking at BCG. So BCG simply means boosting consulting matrix. You can have it written in full like that. In exam condition, I can abbreviate. Abbreviation is allowed. So they can tell you to discuss comprehensively on the BCG model, what have you. So know that boosting consulting group matrix can be abbreviated. And if you go online, look at resource material literatures, we have so many authors to abbreviating it. So BCG is a model that is used by organizations to evaluate their existing products and services in terms of the market development potential and profitability potential. This BCG model that we are talking about was developed by American strategic scholars. And the essence of this BCG model is to incorporate the concept into the product life cycle. And this one will help the management team, the managers of the company, the SBU managers quickly continue, please. So it was a network issue. As I was saying, I inform us that our lecture for today will centers on boosting concentric group and some other related topics that the syllabus are required. So to start with, we start with BCG Matrix. Can I proceed, please? I want to know
we
if you
can see
are.
your screen.
I've shared the screen. Let me reshare, please. Let's see the screen now.
Yes, sir, we can see it.
You can see now. Okay, please. We start with boosting constraint group matrix. And I inform you that it's not compulsory and it's not at all time that in exam condition they will write it in full like this, boosting consulting group matrix. You can just have it in abbreviation. That you said you discuss critically on BCG matrix or BCG growth matrix. So abbreviation is allowed. So the BCG matrix is a strategic planning tool that was designed by American strategic scholars for organization to evaluate their products and services performance. And apart from using it to evaluate the product and services performance, the BCG growth matrix is used to evaluate the contribution of the SBUs. By these SBUs, I mean the strategic business units of the organization, all these unit managers, branches, and the rest. So they use BCG matrix. And the essence of using this BCG matrix is to evaluate the existing product and services in terms of their market development potential and their potential to generate profit. And knowing fully that the essence of being a business is to make and maximize profit. So this BCG matrix is applicable for use to all organizations that produce minimum of 2 products or render at least minimum of 2 services to all their respective customers. Because if you are producing one product or you render just one service, it will be difficult for you to use BCG matrix. But there's no way you are going to make evaluation or compare the performance of other products. So BCG matrix is applicable for companies that have at least minimum of 2 products, or they have extended product matrix or range of product varieties. So the BCG matrix major objective is to achieve a balanced portfolio of investments. What do I mean by that? BCG is designed for companies them to improve the performance of all their products, performance of all their investment, and not to relent on one particular product as a breadwinner. That one might have significant negative and adverse effects. Such a product that we relent on collapse suddenly, because the business environment that we are operating is volatile, uncertain. At times it can be static, it can be relatively complex. So that's the reason why the model is useful for company to evaluate the performance of their product so that they'll be able to know those products that are performing very well, bringing in revenue as expected, and those products that are underperforming that need aggressive strategic support, marketing campaign, and promotion.
Hello,
So,
sir.
hello, yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, you can ask your question, please.
I've been raising my hand, sir.
You have been,
I've been raising my hands.
you've been reading
So,
your hand.
yes,
And what does that mean? I didn't understand.
like I've been raising my hand to
Okay, you'll be
make
raising your hand.
a.
I don't take notes.
Yes,
Sorry.
sir.
You
Mm.
can ask whatever you want to ask. I'm with you. You can talk, please.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for the class. But I want to make an observation, sir. You are a little bit fast. I'm considering this is the theory part. I'm trying to pen down some
Okay, I'm a
points.
little bit fast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good.
And also, I would want to ask, what is the full meaning of SBUs? You mentioned while explaining Boston Consulting Group Matrix. So, can you hear me?
His network is bad. Please let him be fast. We can rewatch the videos.
Okay. Let's continue now. I'll take it a little bit slowly now. So, what I mean by BCG Consulting Group Matrix is that the BCG Consulting Group Matrix is a growth matrix that company used to evaluate the performance of their product, investment, and services in any industry where they are operating. The essence of this performance evaluation is to know those products that are providing stable and increasing market share and profitability to the organization. The essence of the evaluation is equally to compare the performance of this our product with that of other competing products in the market, so that we can be able to know the products that are weak, relatively weak in time of competition. No organization want to lose their major market or customers to other competitors. So without this BCG matrix, it will be difficult for companies to know how to evaluate the performance of their products. And it will be equally difficult for companies to know how to identify underperforming products. So I inform you that the major objective of BCG matrix is to achieve a balanced portfolio of investments, so that all our products are performing up to expectations, and that the SBU, I said the SBU is strategic business unit, so that we can be able to know the contribution of the SBU managers and all the brand managers. That is what we use BCG model for. So we continue by saying that the BCG matrix assists organization in the area of product portfolio planning, in the area of product development, product advisement, extension of the product range varieties, product promotion. So BCG matrix helps us once we have discovered the strengths and weaknesses of most of these products. In BCG matrix, there are two criteria that we use to measure the performance of a product or services. The two criteria are the relative market share and the market growth. So if we want to know if the product is doing very well, these are the two criteria or parameters that the scholars give. We have to look at the market share, what the product is bringing in terms of customers, in terms of sales, in terms of profit, in terms of return on investment, and the market growth. The market growth means the attractiveness of the market, the performance rate of the market, the rate of customers patronage. So there are two major indicators that we use to measure product performance under BCG. That is relative market share and the market growth. The BCG matrix that we are talking about is equally called 2x2 matrix. You can see it. It is also called 2x2 matrix. I've seen one exam in the past that I can't inform the students that they should discuss comprehensively on the 2x2 matrix of BCG. So it will not be new when you see it. We call it 2x2 matrix. At times, some scholars call it product market grid. Product market grid, because it discusses on product portfolio and activities in the market. So the BCG matrix classify products and businesses into four main types. Namely, we have one, the star product that you are seeing in the diagram. Two, we have problem child products that we also call question mark products. The third one is cash cow products, while the last one is dog products. I will call it dog business. It's the same thing. So I recap that BCG classify product or businesses into four main types based on the market and the market growth. We have one, star product, problem child product, cash cow product, and we have dog products. These are the four classification of products under BCG. So let's look at these products. one by one. So the first one is star product. A star product is a product that the company offer for sale in a high growing market and is generating a high market share. So in that contrast table, you will discover that star products have HH. It has II, meaning that we are selling it in a growing market. The market is attractive, very profitable. But at the same time, this is our product generating a high market share. And that is the reason why we say a star product is commonly known as a rising star. So a star product is a product too that we are selling in an emerging market. The market keeps growing. It's a market that have future growth potential and profitability. Anything that we call a star product is an established brand, is a cost leader in a competitive market. And this product is generating predictable and increasing high returns for the company in terms of profit and sales. So what is our advice to companies that have star products? The advice we are going to give to a company on star product is that the company should continue to nurture. That was the term that the scholar used, propounded this matrix. He said the word nurture. The company should continue to nurture. That nurture means that the company should continue to support, finance, promote star products so that we can increase its sales potential, profitability, and market share. If that one is understood, we can quickly go to question mark products. Another name for question mark product is problem child product. We call it a problem child product because we are selling the product in a high growing market, but the product generates relatively low market share. In that same market, all other competing products that were introduced by our rivals, the products are performing. And this our own product too. We make a lot of substantial investments, a lot of powerful, aggressive promotion. Yet, the product is still generating low returns, low sales, low customers base, where the competing products are performing extremely very well. So what we have to advise the company here under the question mark product is that the company should continue to nurture and sustain these products, knowing fully that there are some products in the past that we are now celebrating as a star product now that fall into this bracket. And we continue an unrelented effort, the company is able to transform the question mark product to star product, from star product to cash cow products. So now, the point is this: question mark products offer future potential profitability. I repeat that again. Question mark products, they offer future potential profitability. And as a result of that, the company must continue to support and finance these products in order to transform it to star products. So that is the technical advice and the strategic position we are going to tell the company. Don't divert this product. You must not stop for production. Remember, some products are in this bracket before, but they are star products and cash cow products. So we have to ensure we restructure all our plans on these products, give it all necessary support. Some of the excess money that we are gaining from the star products and particularly the cash cow products, we used to continue to finance question mark product until we transform to star products. So the next is cash cow product. A cash cow product generates high market share in a low growing market. That is remarkable. And that's the reason why we said of all these products or businesses, cash cow product is number one. All because the product is selling in a low or slow growing market. The market is low because it is oversaturated with competing products. Despite the fact that we have a lot of similar products that produce the same benefit, they are used the same way. Despite the fact that we have six of products in the market that is causing customers brand switching, these our products still generate high market share. It still generates high market share. Apart from generating high market share, see, products generate excess significant cash flow. It's generating excess profit. And this excess profit that the company is realizing from the cash cow product, look at what the company do. The company make they make the excess returns. Anywhere you see making the excess return, it means that they are using the excess return profitability they are gaining from this product to support other weak products. The excess revenue that we are generating from the product, we are using it to pay overhead expenses, rentages, dividends of shareholders. So what advice can we give company on cash cow product now? Our advice is that the company should maintain strategy for success on this product or business. You must not alter any strategy, including our 4 P's or 7 P's: the product quality, the price of the product, our distribution or service efficiency, the promotion, the customer relationship marketing. Whatever strategy that we are using is giving us positive result, we have to maintain it. So we maintain status quo of strategy. So the next product is dog product or dog business. This is the relatively the weakest of all the products or business that the company invests on. A dog product operates in a low growing market. See, it operates in a low growing market, and what does it generate? It generates low market share. So both is LL, low low. The market is not attractive. The market does not have potential or profitability. We have tried all we could. Our unrelented effort and investment is still generating low returns. This product is creating a nightmare for the company, all because it's generating a negative cash flow for the company. So there are two options for the company on the dog product. The company can formulate a strategy to allow this product or business to sustain itself. How? We can achieve that by not using the excess profit we are gaining from cash cow product and star product to finance the product again. We are not going to borrow from banks. The little money that we have that product can generate, we use it to produce few quantity that it can cover and observe the performance of the dog product in isolation. I mean, we separate it from other product portfolio or SBU. If these dog products continue with a poor negative cash flow, then I advise the company to embark on divestment. Divestment in strategy means to stop further production. We call it divestment or divestiture strategy. Or the simple English meaning is abandonment. we stop further production, and gradually we withdraw these drug products from circulation. But we have some instances whereby this drug product is. Hello?
Let's go.
Do you have a question? Okay, let's continue. We have some instances whereby this drug product
Sir, hello,
might
sir.
be. Hello,
Sir,
I'm
hello,
with
sir.
you.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
with you.
I mean, sir, I'm trying to catch up with the class, sir. You know, I need to
Okay.
understand. I need to understand this your illustration. You know, before we go to the distance out the working class, sir. So please, sir, if you can slow it down a bit, sir, please, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We said drug products, they are the weakest of all the products or the businesses that the company have. You see, we call them dog. They are just terminologies that companies are using internally within the company to classify their products or businesses based on the returns and their performance in the competitive market. At times, most of these names, some companies or strategic business unit manager, they don't use the name in the presence of their customers. So dog product is selling in a low growing market and generates low market share. In some instances, we have a situation whereby if drastic actions is not being taken, some dog products tend to bring losses to the company by making negative cash flow. And I inform you that we don't have to waste the time that the company will be generating negative cash flow on this product before we take actions. Some of the decisions that we can take, we have the option to stop further production of the product or still give the product second chance. That second chance is what I mean by allow the product to sustain itself. Maybe the product can survive. And once we discover that the product cannot survive, it still continue with a poor form of performance and negative return, then we can stop it gradually. For the total withdrawal of a drug product, some companies took the initiative to introduce a similar product that will replace it. And at times, most of the drug products, no matter how poor their performance, that was where I stopped. No matter how poor their performance, some companies don't withdraw them. They still maintain them in the market. All because it is an established brand that company is using to sell other products. Or because the little income that we are generating from the product, the company is using it to reproduce the product. So some companies are buying some of our other product range because of these dog products, because they have already developed loyalty for the product. So companies must be very critical and have that strategic thinking before taking the decision to withdraw a dog product. So I look at that. What are the limitations of BCG growth matrix? This limitation does not mean that the matrix is not useful or they are condemning. The limitations mean the area of improvement, the areas of negligence, or the areas that the scholars ignore. So some of the limitations of BCG matrix is that the matrix ignore many other factors that contribute towards the determinant of profitability and performance of the product. The first one is this. One, it can be practically difficult in determining what exactly high and low means in the matrix. That means that some people might find it difficult to understand what is high market growth or what is high market share in some situations. The reason why they are saying is that it is not at all time that a growing market will translate into high market share and profitability for organization. That is one point. Apart from that, look at this point. That when a company focus upon high market growth, it can lead to profit potential of declining market being ignored. That means if company is concentrating, focusing on looking for a high market growth, high potential market, at the neglect of some of the small markets that we feel they don't have potential, we might end up losing a lot of business opportunity, sales, profitability, and return on investment. Because some of these neglected markets too, they have series of business opportunity and sales potential that the company can utilize. Secondly, one of the limitations is that the matrix assumes that each strategic business unit is independent. That means the matrix does consider synergy. Whereas the use of matrix will are best suited when we have synergy of production activities, synergy of integration of functional activities across all units and departmental in the organization. So the matrix does not encourage market segmentation. So that is one of the criticism. Third criticism that I was trying to emphasize in the course of explaining a dog product is this. The position of the dog is frequently misunderstood. How? Because many dog products play a vital role in helping the strategic business unit achieve competitive advantage. And that is fantastic. Let's say, for instance, now, in the product portfolio or product range of 7-Up bottling company, there was a time the company was contemplating to divest, stop further production of 7-Up, all because there are losses, say, to Sprite and some other competing products that time. They do all the cool series of investment on promotion, use of Fido Dido, sweet bakes, and the rest. They are the verge of withdrawing the product. But before they withdrew the product in circulation, they now introduce Mountain Dew so that both Mountain Dew and 7 can be able to fight Sprite, which was competing product produced by Coca-Cola Bottle Company. And look at it today. 7-Up is still relevant. It's an household brand name. And nobody ever expects that Pepsi will now later become a cash cow product for the company. Apart from that, look at these points that I put here. Drug products may be required to complete a product range and provide a credible presence in the market. Meaning that if we want to list the product lines or product of 7-Up now, we have to list Pepsi, 7-Up, Benita, H2O, Aquafina water, and many more. We use it to complete that range of their products. So in a way, company normally retain. Drug products may also be retained in order to reduce the threat from competitors. So having looked at some of these limitations, we have to know that despite the fact that we have some areas that the scholars to improve in terms of our limits that people have identified, notwithstanding these limitations, the BCG constraint group matrix provide a useful starting point in the assessment of the performance product and services of the company. And more importantly, in the assessment of the strategic business unit. So what is that about SBUs, BCG Matrix? It is called Boston Consulting Group Matrix. It is used to evaluate the performance of the product. And there are two indicators or two parameters or criteria that we use to measure product performance under BCG. That is product growth, market growth, and market share. The BCG classify product or businesses into four main types. We have star product, cash cow product, dog product, and we have question mark product. That is also called problem child product. And I inform you that the major objective of BCG is to have a balanced portfolio of investment. We don't want to relent on one product. We want all our products to be performing and competitive and generate substantial market share and return for the company. I hope that is understood so that we can clearly look at SWOT analysis. Can I proceed, please? So SWOT analysis.
Sorry, good morning, sir. Before you proceed,
Okay, sir.
so you while you were trying to explain star product, you mentioned something around
Yes, sir.
cost leader, something around being a cost leader. Can you throw more light on that?
Okay, thank you. The reason why I mentioned that cost leader, I share it is popularly called by some scholars as cost leader or price leader. By cost leader or price leader means that it's one of the established household brands in the market that customers purchase. It's one of the established products too in the market that when you are mentioning strategic brand positioning, before you mention 2, 3, 4 brands, you will discover that people have mentioned that product. And apart from that, we call it a price leader or cost leader because this product operates in an emerging market and is bringing substantial, predictable, and stable returns for the company. That's the reason why some scholars refer to star product as a price leader or cost leader. Is that understood? Okay, let's proceed with SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis is a technique that companies use to evaluate and analyze the internal and external factors posing challenges or opportunity to the organization. And it is also used to identify the relative areas of improved performance of the company and the areas of relative weaknesses, threats, and opportunities that are found that the company is yet to exploit. In the SWOT analysis, the S stands for strength analysis. And that strength analysis is always an internal analysis. So strengths, which is an internal analysis, require a holistic X-ray evaluation or assessment of the areas where the company is performing remarkably. So we can still improve on them. But we have to identify all these things, jot it down, so that we can be able to know what are the critical success factors and key performance indicators that give us this landmark strength. And how can we leverage on our strength and improve performance? So the strengths of a company are being referred as unique selling points. We call it unique. Some call it very specific advantage. The areas where we have specific advantage in the company over other competitors. Why some stars too call it the areas of relative competitive advantage. The strength of a company, what are the sources of this strength of a company? Or what are the typical examples of strength of a company? The strength of a company from resources. Some companies have resources in abundance, some have it in limited quantity, be it you have it in sufficient quantity or limited quantity. The most important thing is how effective are these resources being utilized. No organization, including the government, even in advanced economy or the emerging economy, have resources in abundance. The limited resources must be effectively utilized. We avoid wastages. These resources must be used to achieve the corporate goals, the mission of the company, their strategic objectives. So when our resources is abundant and is effectively utilized, that's a good strength for the company. Capability too, having capability, competency, core competency is a very good strength, positive significant strength for organization. And this our capability, how valuable it is, it must be valuable. Our strategic capability must be valuable, it must be rare and hard to imitate by organization. And that's the more reason why we inform scholars like you, an organization, that before you can say that your strength and strategy give you sustainable competitive advantage, that strength and strategy must have what we call zero. The strength must be valuable, your strategy must be valuable. Idea means the strategy must be inimitable, difficult to imitate by other competitors. Our strategy must be rare, at the same time, well integrated and organized. So some of the examples of strength of the company are valuable company resources like patent rights, strong brand reputation. It's not really brand reputation, corporate goodwill too, strong corporate image. Because a company that have a dense image or corporate and goodwill that have been dragged in disrepute, maybe by participating in illegal business, participating in greenwashing, all this can dent the image of the company, or producing unwholesome products, or non-compliance to regulations. New innovative products, talented workforce that are trained and retrained and well motivated, low staff turnover, discovery of new technology, gaining of a major market. All these things are what we call the strength of a company. We can continue to list and list like that. So some of these are examples of strength. I've listed them here. Extensive research knowledge, high skill scientists and what have you, staff motivation, and other important points. So the weakness. The analysis of the weakness of a company is an internal analysis too. That means your S and W, note they are internal analysis. It is only O and P, opportunity, O and T, opportunity and threats, that are external analysis. So weaknesses of a company refers to the areas that the company needs to improve upon in order for them not to experience declining performance, in order for them not to experience what we call a weakened competitive strength. So we can say the weakness of a company, they are harmful to the company because it has significant negative effect if they are neglected. So some typical examples of the weakness of a company are: one, lack of a patent protection, lack of patent protection, poor reputation among customers, lack of customers loyalty or customers relationship management, bad leadership style, because bad leadership style is a very negative weakness of a company, and it's very, very harmful to the company, because the leadership style that we adopt speak volume about the performance of the company and the efficiency of the staff. And if we adopted a bad leadership style, it will not give us opportunity for succession plan, and it will be difficult for us to achieve our predetermined strategies. Another area of weakness is inefficient production process, poor staff motivation. So all these area of weaknesses, we must strengthen it. We must design policy, strategies, and procedures to ensure that we turn these areas of weaknesses into strengths. So having looked at weaknesses, we have opportunities. Opportunities are external analysis. And these opportunities that we are talking about, if they are identified and exploited, they have positive influence on the company performance and going concern. Opportunity, it has positive influence on the company performance and going concern. Opportunity abounds in the business environment and the industry. But some companies, they lack the capacity to assess opportunity in their business environment where they are operating. This might be due to lack of investment in research and development, or it might be due to what we call inertia. So to capture the opportunity in a business environment, or to assess the opportunity in the business environment, the best way to assess it is to use the external factor model that we call pestle analysis. That is the analysis of the political forces, economic forces, social forces, technology forces, environmental forces, ecological forces, and legal forces. Apart from that, the opportunity in the business environment, I want you to take note, can be analyzed. That one give us opportunity to assess the competitors and some other thing. Most importantly, business opportunity can be assessed okay. So let's continue. Hello, can I continue? Do you still have the
But
slide? Because hello, I need
it's no longer showing on my end.
It's no longer showing. Bless you.
Reshare it.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Today I'm too fast. Don't you know too fast? I don't know this problem I'm facing. It's natural. It's natural that is causing it. When I lost CBI, I have to speed up my. So sorry for the interruption. It's network, please. Okay, I said the example of a business opportunity are one, strong growth in total market demand. We are experiencing increasing demand. In fact, the demand of the customers is surpassing our supply. It's a very good thing. Two, new scientific discovery or discovery of new natural resources is an opportunity. Favorable government policy is equally a good opportunity. Tax rebate or tax holiday, and at the same time, we have gain of major markets from our competitors. These things are opportunity. That different areas, even in terms of diversification, ability to diversify to areas that is on tap, that people neglected, and we discover that that areas or industry is full of potential profitability. It's an opportunity too. So threat. Threat means external analysis. And what do we call threats? The threat, on the other hand, are the external factors that could cause trouble for the company presently and immediate future. So the threats, they refer to the turbulent activities in the industry. The threat refers to the competitive pressure. So what we call threats, threats are challenges, problems, turbulence, environmental volatility, something that threats our continuous existence, or something that is tending to limit or decline the growth of the company, or those factors that are threatening our continuous survival. Those are the things that we call threats. And there are many. So the company have to ensure that they embark on constant SWOT analysis, constant environmental scanning, and constant strategic evaluation for them to be able to cope or overcome all these threats. Excuse me. What are the typical examples of a threat? Recent merger of two major competitors. Among our competitors, we have two that merge together to leverage on that and strengthen their competitive advantage over us. We have another one, risks or stricter regulation of new products by the government. Another one is influx of new technology. And it's not limited to the influx of new technology. It can be influx of new competitors. There are some industries that are so attractive that we have high influx of new competitors within and outside the company. That we have so many foreign multinational companies coming to partake in the market. So high cost of innovation, innovative technology is a threat too. Coupled with that, we have unfriendly government policy, such as high and increasing tariffs, increase in interest rates. They are threats to a company. You can even see here that declining economic performance, inflation, unemployment is a threat. Even when we have customer switching behavior and a shift in the consumer buying behavior against our products, they are threats. So company must strategize on how they can cope and overcome all these threats and challenges. So having a look at that, we look at our CSF. What do we call CSF and KPI? CSF and KPI. The full meaning of CSF is critical success factors. CSF means critical success factors. And the critical success factor is part of the component of strategy that we use in the strategic planning process and evaluation. The critical success factor helps management in the area of identifying and making
So you're too
strategic
fast.
choice. When we are doing element of strategic management, we have strategic choice, strategic positioning, and strategic implementation.
Sir, hello,
In our,
sir.
hello, I'm
Sir,
with you,
hello,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. I think if you define anything, like if you define it now, I think
Yes,
it's good if you now do it again, like twice. If you
twice.
define it once, yes, because it will slow you down a bit. It will allow us to catch up with you. But if you just define
Yes.
and move on,
We will not get
it's
it.
just move on, move on, move on. It is only you since I'm sorry to say, but you I mean, sir, sir, if you understand me, sir, it has been only you since, we are not communicating with you. You are doing it. It is only you and we. I mean, we are here, sir, and you are there. So I don't know if you understand me, sir.
Understood.
So
I
please, sir,
think our own
you
madam
live
is
with us.
making contribution too. Madam, can I hear you? Your observation?
I'm supporting what he's saying.
Okay, I'm with you. The reason being
Sir,
that
sir, the issue there is that a lot of us are jotting. Some are jotting with that. So if you are just
okay,
reading
some are
them, you cannot.
jotting. Okay, I'm sorry
Yes.
about that. The point is this: I'm going to give you this material, and we are going to have a recorded version of it. You see, the point is, I have just 2 hours. I will have extended it to about 2.5 or 3 hours. But immediately after this lecture, Ma and Sas, I'm still going to VI for lecture. And I felt I'm not too fast. But the more you say I'm too fast, maybe I will slow the pace down a little bit again. The more it's not a physical class, as one of our scholars mentioned the other time. So thank you for that observation and contribution. And to Mr. Olamide Michael also, that say it has been only me. I think at times, depending on the nature of the lecture that we anchor, since it's not calculation and the rest, at my end there, I'll be the one to feed you. And probably when we are done, about to round up, can I ask you, is there any question? And you can see that I pause at interval before I move to another topic, whatever. Is it understood? Can I proceed? And you can
Yeah, you
even
can
come in.
proceed, sir. You can proceed, sir.
You can come in anytime you have observation or you want to ask question or you need clarity. Just like the way my guy was asking me, what did I mean by SBU? What did I mean by a price or cost leader? It's allowed. It should be an interactive thing. And that will give me joy that you are following. It will give me joy that you are discerning and inquisitive and student. Is that understood? So bless you. I love all those contributions. Okay. Again, we mean CSF. Like I said, I should re-emphasize. CSF means critical success factor. The C there is critical. S success, F factors. So the critical success factor, I said they are essential aspect or component of strategy that the company use during strategic planning process, during strategic choice making, during strategic implementation and evaluation. Critical success factor, they aid evaluation of the vital aspects of our strategies that is giving the company results and achievement of pre-stated objectives. And that's the reason why I said the critical success factor should be identified at every stages in the strategic planning process. Why? Because management needs to understand the main reasons why particular product or services are successful and the main reason why some particular products or services are unsuccessful. CSF, critical success factor, it can be abbreviated in exam too, are important in the process of making strategic choice. I've told you that. It is equally important in the process of making strategic implementations. Equally, critical success factors help us to set performance targets and achievements within a stated period. So according to JSW, that is Johnson, Scholes, and Whittington. The Johnson, Scholes, and Whittington, the scholar says that to measure targets for critical success factors, we must use what we call KPI. To measure targets for critical success factors, we must use what we call KPI. That KPI means key performance indicators. Key performance indicators. I'm going to tell you what we mean by key performance indicators and how we use them immediately after discussing on the 6-step approach of Johnson, Scholes, and Whittington. So key performance indicators are used to measure the effectiveness of critical success factor. So according to Johnson and Scholes, they suggested 6-step approach to using critical success factor in order to achieve competitive advantage. That they are advising that for you and I and corporate organization to achieve competitive advantage using critical success factor, these 6 steps or approach must be followed. The first step is to identify the success factors that are critical for profitability, both in the long run and short run. And for us not to drag this and to simplify it, to make it easier, one of the success factors that are critical for profitability in the short and the long run is one, low selling price. So the very reason why I pencil it in purple ink, low selling price. And the low selling price, we all know, we call it penetration pricing strategy. It's a very good pricing strategy to launch a new product. It's a very good pricing strategy to penetrate existing competitive market. It's a very good pricing strategy to attract prospective customers and retain our existing customers. It's a very critical success factor. Apart from that, another critical success factor that companies are using and we can recommend is prompt delivery of products. Because it is one thing for customers to order for a product, it's another for the product to be delivered at the right time and in the right place. If our product is not delivered at the time when the customers are need it, then it has lost the value and the consonants that we want to create. That consonants means customer satisfaction. All because there was late delivery or delay in delivery. Prompt delivery, timely service delivery, they are part of the critical success factor. Another critical success factor that a company can leverage on is this: low level of sales returns. We want to avoid the situation whereby customers will be complaining about our product defects. They purchase a product, they have to return it or return part of it. It's not a good thing for a company. So critical success factor is essential because it is a good thing to think about customers' needs and the 4 P's of marketing mix. For those of us that is seeing the 4 P's of marketing mix for the first time, the 4 P's of marketing mix means product, price, place, and promotion. I repeat that again. 4 P's of marketing means product, price, place, and promotion. But in the course of reading or in the course of the exam, we are now required to outline or they mention the word 7 P's of marketing mix. 7 P's of marketing means that they have added extended 3 P's of marketing mix. So if it is 7 P's now, what we are now going to have is 1, product, price, place, promotion, people, physical facilities, and process management. 7 P's again: product, price, place, promotion, people, physical facilities or physical evidence, and we have process management. So the second step given by Johnson and Scholes that we must identify what is necessary.
I'm sorry to drag you back there, sir.
Okay, sir.
So, I mean, this 7 P's you just mentioned now, right?
Yes, sir.
There is a P that represents place there, and then in the extended P that you're talking about,
Yes.
people, process, and then physical stuff,
Facilities or
physical
evidence.
facility. So, what's the difference between place and physical facility?
Okay, bless you. That's a very good question. Uh, in the 7 P's or 4 P's, that place that you are seeing there, place there represents distribution. That place stands for distribution. Is that understood? Why that physical facilities or evidence is talking about the business environment within and outside the company. These physical facilities, the physical facilities that we are talking about or evidence must be appealing. The physical facilities must be adequate. The physical facilities must be safe. The physical environment must be safe and guarantee optimal safety and security for the staff, for the customers, for the investors, the shareholders, and the rest. But in terms of place means distribution. By that distribution, it means the channel or mediums via which the company render their services or distribute their product to the final consumers. Let me give you an example of a place. Use of marketing intermediaries like wholesalers or retailers. Or in the banking industry now, online banking services is a place. So effective place, effective distribution make the company product to be available at the right time, in the right place, and in the right form in which the customers want it. So that one will guarantee valuable exchange between the company and their respective customers or buyers. Hope it is clear, sir.
Got you, sir. Thank you.
You are welcome, sir. Bless you. So the second stage is to identify what is necessary. And what is necessary for company to achieve their objective is what we call critical competency. You must have competency in the area of our production efficiency, competency in the area of staff skill, staff development, staff training, competency in customers relationship management. So whatever we have earmarked that this is what we want to use as our critical success factor, we must have greater competency and, if possible, core competency in that area. For example, look at this example I put here. If our critical success factor is low price, we want to use penetration price, selling at affordable price, reasonable price, moderate price. What is the competency that we need, sir or ma? The competency is that we need strict control over cost. Because if we don't have strict control over cost, we don't have budgetary control, if we don't streamline our total operational costs, then we cannot be able to sell at high price. This is one of the things that Michael Porter advised when we are using generic competitive strategy under cost leadership. He said the company must try to reduce their total production and operational costs and overhead expenses for them to be able to sell at a lower price. Is that understood? So, two, another competency, look at this place. If our critical success factor is low level of sales return, discover there is an ugly omen or scenario whereby customers buy our product, they are complaining of defects or low quality. So what can we do to reduce the instance of sales return? Then what the company can do, a critical competence might be either zero defects in production, or before we sell, identify 100% of defects on inspection and QM. We have to do total quality control management. But this total quality control management, if it is ignored, it causes a lot of problem for companies. You can see this company that ran into a problem about 5 years ago. This company owned by the China Indigen that produced my Peking teething powder or syrup. They are an household name globally. In Nigeria, they have achieved so many heights. They have received so many accolades. They are the market leader. But one day mistake in the area of total quality management and critical competency cost the company and they cease to exist again. All because in that particular year, we are experiencing in Nigeria high infant mortality rate. The rate at which kids, babies are dying in general hospitals and private hospitals was high. The government had to intervene in conjunction with NAFDAC. They stopped the dispensation of all the drugs. At that time, they took it to lab. They traced that problem to that product be produced by a global company that everybody respects. And what happened is because of lack of product inspection, they order for, if I didn't forget it because I read that and I follow it up, they order for diethylene glycol, and mistakenly the suppliers that they have been buying from decades supply them with diethylene propanol. So by the time the babies consume it, it collapses their kidney and they die. So we don't joke with our critical success factor, key performance indicator, total quality management, and zero defect. Constantly, you must inspect material during production, after production. Where raw materials are supplied, we have to inspect it to check if those materials conform with the specification to give to them, so that we don't run into problem. So all these steps are very essential. The man said in number 3 steps, we ensure we develop level of critical competency that will give us competitive advantage. One area of doing this is the area of investment in research and development, development in innovation, development in new product development, development in staff capacity, and identification of knowledge gap. So when we can be able to do this, our competency level, capability will improve, and we can be able to gain what we call core competency. Number 4, we must identify appropriate key performance indicators for each critical competence. What does that mean? If our objective, our critical success factor should be zero defect, our key performance indicator should be total quality management and material inspection. So, above all, the scholar advised that we must monitor the firm achievement of its target KPI. There should be constant monitoring. It's not something we do in batches or at interval, continuously on a daily basis, so that we can be able to track our areas of deficiency, monitor the production activities, satisfy our customers, and keep an eye on our competitors. Is there any question on that before we quickly discuss on the SWOT analysis? But the syllabus require, it is boldly written there, that students are required to understand the meaning of SWOT analysis and its importance. Can I proceed,
SWOT
please?
analysis.
SWOT,
Oh,
yes, SWOT
SWOT. Okay.
analysis.
Okay.
SOAR, SWOT analysis. SWOT, SOAR
Okay.
analysis. So what do we call SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is something that we can call
Hello,
an
sir.
application. Okay, I'm with you, ma.
Good morning, sir. Please, sir,
Morning.
can this material be shared on the group?
There, definitely, I will share that.
Okay, thank you
It's
very much.
workshop and my own practice. I have to share it for you. I will share everything. So SWOT analysis. What do we call SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is an application of SWOT analysis. You know, apart from SWOT analysis, we have what we call TOWS analysis. TOWS, TOWS. That one too is a derivative and application of SWOT analysis. So by this SWOT analysis, the S there means strength. Can you see the reason why I say it's an application of SWOT analysis? The S stands for strength. The O stands for opportunities. The A stands for aspirations. Aspirations. While the R stands for results. That is the meaning of SWOT analysis. I can say you must know the meaning. And what is the meaning? Let's look at it now comprehensively. SWOT analysis, S stands for strength, O for opportunity, A for aspirations, and R for results. So SWOT analysis is a strategic planning techniques that help companies to focus on their current strengths and opportunities. So apart from using it to focus on our current strength and improving on the strength and opportunity that we can capture, SWOT analysis help to create a vision. That vision is what we are calling aspiration there. It helps to create a vision of future aspiration. What are the other future goals that we want to achieve? How can we diversify this company? What are the things that we can do to achieve sustainable growth, to achieve high return on investment? How can we plow back some of our profits? All these things are what we call future aspiration. Maybe we want to expand our geographical sales outlets in the north. It's still a future aspiration. So SWOT analysis is a strategic planning technique that help the company to identify, review their strength and opportunity, and create future aspiration and expectation of positive results. That R there means result. So once we set another visionary future goals and objective to achieve, so we must have some expectations. What is our expected results? That's what we call in research a priori expectations. Setting future aspiration must come with the expected results. So SWOT analysis help organization. It helps organization firm in deciding various factors of the organization, thereby helping the organization to form a strategy. So once we do our SWOT analysis, we have identified our strengths. We must not be static or be comfortable with the strength presently. What are the things that we have to do to leverage on this existing strength so that we can improve on it? What are the various opportunities that we have exploited? What are the ones that we have not exploited? Because some circumstances too can bring about discovery of opportunities. Let me give you one scenario. During the COVID-19 that happened in late 2020 from Wuhan in China, you can discover that nobody wants to die. Because that time, bloods were crying, particularly in advanced economy and emerging economy. So a lot of people identify so many business opportunity. Elon Musk is there, so many companies and whatever. In the Nigerian context here, 7-Up bottling company to use DOI that I inform you. Can you see the importance now? They use DOI, deliberate opportunity identification, to diversify quickly in the production of hand sanitizer, toiletries, antiseptic soaps, and they name it Be Too Sure. So in business, we have to ensure at all time that you scan your environment to see areas of opportunity, what you can do to improve your strength and your returns, the areas that you can diversify to invest into. That is aspiration. It can be even be in the area of human capital development, your staff development. It can be in the area of corporate social responsibility. So we have it that not only does SWOT analysis help the firm to recognize their key strength and opportunity, it also helps the firm in deciding its future goals, aspiration, and to measure expected results. So therefore, SWOT analysis look at both the present and the future, and it helps us to guarantee moving forward. That is what we call sustainable growth, going concern.
Hello.
Ma, I'm with you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, Madam Mufama, I'm with
The
you. You
case
can.
study for this is good
Yes, ma.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma.
In the area of exam, in exam condition,
Yes, ma'am.
how's the question like? Is it a case study question on this strategic factor? How can you explain it in a case study? How is it like when they throw it up in examination?
Okay, in a case study form, if we have a case study that is centered on SWOT analysis, ICANN is going to give us what we call a pre-scene analysis. Apart from pre-scene analysis, let's assume we have our exam question. By the time you have your exam question, the first thing that we expect you to do, having read the question about 2 or 3 times, and you go through the question that you are required to do, and you discover that a question was centered on SWOT analysis, then I will advise you that you pick your biro or pencil and put this alphabet X, O, A, R. That our X, strength of the company, O, opportunity, A, aspiration, and R, result. All information that is provided in that question, exam question, those ones that are relevant and fall under strength of the company, you put it under it. Those ones that fall under the opportunity that the company have identified and exploited, and those ones that they give you in the material, that there are a series of untapped potentials and opportunity in the industry that the company neglected or the company is aspiring to capture, among which are these. All those opportunities, you put them under O. Your aspiration will come with the word future tense, that the company intends in the third quarter of next year to diversify conglomerately in social area, or the company intends to extend their product line, or the company intends to introduce a variety of products to satisfy the increasing demand and quest from customers that want various product variety. And at the same time, the company has earmarked about $200 million to import some operational technology, new inventions by next year. All those ones are aspiration. The future things that they are aspiring to achieve, you put it under A. So the result, the expected result, maybe they want to have, for instance, by the time they invest in technology, manpower, and what have you, and diversify, they are expecting about 45% increase in return on investment, and to capture some major markets or expand to Asia. All these things are results. We put it down. So when you now look at these things, there are some gray areas or areas of lapses that the company possibly might have neglected, which the question will require you to do. Or they might ask us, looking at the case scenario, what are the things that the company can do to achieve their aspiration using SWOT analysis? Then you now list your strength, opportunity, aspiration, result, and relate it to that question. They get it. It's like doing SWOT analysis of a company. So it's a very, very simple scenario that will not give us any problem. Don't worry, there is likelihood that we are going to look at some of the past questions by the time our lectures unfold, or when we get closer to the exam period, before the mock exam question is being circulated. We can look at all these things. Thank you for that question. Bless you. So next we have lock-in strategy. Lock-in strategy. Once you know the meaning of lock-in strategy, you can put it down in your own simple English. Lock-in strategy. What is the meaning of lock-in strategy? So what we have here in the first paragraph and first sentence, that a lock-in strategy is another approach to gaining and keeping competitive advantage. The simple meaning of lock-in strategy is locking the customer in. It means customers retention strategy. That is the simple meaning. And for you to agree with me that I've said this authoritatively, look at this. The idea of locking strategy is that when a customer has made an initial decision to purchase a company's product, it is committed to making more purchases from the same company in the future. Let me take that again. So I will yield to the advice my Oga gave me the other time. The idea of a lock-in strategy is that when a customer has made an initial decision to purchase a company's product, that customer is committed to making more purchases from the same company in the future. It means that when the customers make a trial purchase, is buying our product for the first time. Once our customers has made that purchase decision, in a way, we are putting a strategy to ensure that that customers is committed to make repeat purchase. Such customers will not buy our competitors' products. Rather, if we continue to buy our products, continue to patronize us, so that the customers can develop a loyalty for our products and even make what we call referral to other potential buyers. That is what we call lock-in strategy. I told you the simple meaning is customers retention. For instance, now, let's assume we buy a product, electronic product, and by the time we buy that electronic product, we fix the product at home, we have started using it. So we want to increase our level of satisfaction by doing some installation on the product. So on getting to the market, they inform us that there is no other accessory that we can use to do that installation than to buy, other than to buy the software of the company that produced the product. They have locked you in. Look at this example here. Example of customer retention, lock-in strategy, so that the customer will continue to be committed to buy our product. Microsoft has successfully locked in many customers to its software product because customers will find it difficult to switch to personal computer that do not have a Microsoft operating system or do not include some of the widely used application packages such as Word and Excel. Can you see? We have another example. Apple computers adopted a lock-in strategy for digital downloading of music from the internet. Why? Because its iTunes service cannot be used on non-Apple MP3 players. So that is what we call lock-in strategy. When you put in something that will make the customer to come back or the customer to continue to use our products and buy our accessory, it's a lock-in strategy. I could recall there was a time that I don't know of now that Kia Motor, they are doing that. If you buy a Kia car, most companies that are purchasing, most of this Asian, India, China, whatever, anytime they want to do servicing of the car, they always take it to their service unit of the company. They hardly patronize the roadside mechanic. It's a lock-in strategy. So a successful lock-in strategy will give us opportunity to compete in the industry. And if we are consistent with it, it will give us a standout competitive edge over other competitors in the market. So in summary, lock-in strategy means strategy that we put in place to ensure continuous patronage and retention of our customers. Even some companies, if you buy their product, if you want to do servicing, maintenance, and repair, it is the spare parts of the company that you will buy. So it's a good marketing strategy that companies are using to retain customers. Is there any question on lock-in strategy before we look at hyper competition?
Not on my
Can I
end.
proceed? Okay, bless you. Let's continue. Hyper competition. That HYPER that you see means increase. When something is increasing, when something is accelerating, that is the meaning of hyper. And we now see competition in front. That tells you that the meaning of hyper competition means increasing competition in the market or industry. So don't forget to lock-in strategy, customers retention, for them to continue to be buying. When you see hyper competition, increasing competition, day in, day out, weekly, monthly, yearly, competition is increasing in the industry or market. That is the meaning of hyper competition. And anytime there is hyper competition, what happens? This is the first thing that you will see. Cost advantage is much more difficult to sustain when there is hyper competition in the market. Anytime there is hyper competition, no company can boast that no matter the level of increasing competition, we are continuing to gain more profitability, this and that. At times that we have fluctuations in returns. Company cannot even sustain their competitive advantage over time. Anytime we have hyper competition. So, what simple definition can we give or explanation to hyper competition? Hyper competition occurs when the frequency, boldness, and aggressiveness of dynamic move by the competitors create conditions of consistent disequilibrium and change. Don't mind that grammar. I don't like it. It's too wide. Let me tell you simple way. Hyper competition occur when there is an increasing competition in the market and which cause intense threats and stability in the market. Anytime there is hyper competition, that informs you that the market is oversaturated with rivals that produce similar products or slightly differentiated products. Anytime there is hyper competition, companies struggle to retain their existing customers. Even if you put in place lock-in strategy, there is tendency that you might lose some customers during that period because some customers will be tempted to purchase newly introduced products. They might buy that product and it will meet their expectations. They might not come back to us again. So hyper competition brings about market dynamism, disequilibrium, loss of customers, loss of sales, and profitability. So what I can do mostly here, and their focus is that knowing fully that you know the definition of hyper competition, and you might have read about the meaning of hyper competition, meaning increasing competition. Apart from the fact that the competition is increasing, we still experience influx of new competitors coming to the industry. And we are experiencing brand switching, loss of customers. So ICA will now ask you that what are the strategies that we can use to cope in hyper-competitive markets? So that is very important. So let's look at the strategy for coping in a hyper-competitive market. One of the strategies to cope in a hyper-competitive market is to ensure shorter product life cycle. Shorter product life cycle. Shorter product life cycle means that the company should seek to introduce new improved products quickly. We can do remodification of our products. By adding more quality, we announce it. Shorter product life cycle to compete against established products in the market. Number two, strategy to cope with
So,
competition.
sorry, sir. From this number one point, right?
Yes.
What I'm thinking in my head, versus what I'm seeing here, introduction of improved product. Now, is product life cycle in terms of short product life cycle? No, is it talking specifically about products that you can easily introduce to the market? I mean, products that you can easily start and complete the production. In terms of the production and distribution,
Yes.
the
It's
life
combined
cycle.
everything that you have said.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
are right. Like for instance, now look at in the mobile industry. Let's just use that example and we proceed. All companies operating in the mobile industry knew that technology is revolutionizing every day. So they are experiencing what we call shorter product cycle. Because today you will see ZQ. Today you are in the next 3 months or 2 months or 4 months now, you will see that Techno have introduced Techno MP5. Another company, Samsung, have reduced. They have shorter product life cycle. So this one will give us opportunity to be relevant in the market. So you are right, sir. It's covered every aspect that you have talked about. Number
Gotcha.
two, to introduce a better
Hello,
product.
sir. Hello, sir.
Hello, Maga. Yes, I'm with you,
So
sir.
sorry to disrupt uh, the class, sir. You said 10 o'clock. You are going to VI. Are you looking at the time? I'm just
Yes, I'm
helping
going to
you.
round up now. I'm
Ah,
going to
okay.
round up, sir.
So
God bless
sorry,
you
you.
for that.
I'm not pursuing you. I'm just helping
God
you with
bless you.
time. Oh.
I'm enjoying the class. I'm about to say that I will soon round up. We continue from there.
Right,
Get
Ghana. You
it?
shouldn't have
But I
told
want to
us
finish this
Ghana. Let
area.
him continue.
So if I have the opportunity next week, sir, Ama, what I'm going to do is this. Maybe I'm going to leave home as early as possible, around 6 or thereafter, or past 6, so that I can get to VI ahead of my lecture. So we can be able to extend our lecture till maybe 10:30 or to 11. Thanks. God bless you. And thanks for the understanding. So number two says to cope with hyper competition, we have to ensure that we introduce a better product. And when we are talking of a better product, we are talking of innovative product, quality product that is capable of performance. Or rather, we introduce a differentiated product. Let the customers perceive something new in our product. It helps us a lot. Many times, the competition in this market is cutthroat, intense competition. So innovative product, differentiated product occur. It's very good. Another thing that you hardly see people telling you is to imitate competitors. Imitation of competitors' product or strategy is a source of competitive advantage. And that's the reason why you see most of the company competing. If Infinix produce this, Samsung produce this. In fact, there are some products that Samsung will produce. They will launch it in Asia. They knew that China people will do adulterated one. But the reason why majority of them is launching in Asia is because of the population. That sales potential they will make. So by the time Coke produce They produce Coke, Coca-Cola bottling company. What happened? 7-Up produce Pepsi. So that Pepsi will fight Coke. They produce Fanta. 7-Up produce Mirinda. They produce Sprite. 7-Up produce 7-Up. They produce 7-Up and Mountain Dew. When Coca-Cola diversify concentrically into the production of table water, named Everwater, it took a lot of time for 7-Up to respond. And when 7-Up is responding, they respond powerfully. And the timing of the product and the positioning of the product was powerful. Coupled with the fact that the company now use what we call in marketing and strategy, ambush marketing, to launch Aquafina water, because they partner the water with yearly marathon of Access Bank. So Coke produce Everwater, 7-Up produce Aquafina water. So we can imitate the strategy of our company for us to achieve and cope with hyper competition. And at the same time, some companies that lack what we have been mentioning since, all these C. And what are the C? Concentrate on small market segments. Those companies that do not have the financial strength to compete with the mighty multinational companies, those companies that do not have the required capability, competency, core competency, and resources. It is better the company concentrate on the smaller segments of the market. That is what we call market niche, for them to be able to cope, so that the intense competition in the market will not be able to swallow them. At the same time, the company can leverage on customers relationship marketing and what we call customers centricity. All our policy, procedure, strategy, and everything, we centers on customer satisfaction and relationship building. So once you can be able to do this with reassurance promotion for our customers, for them to continue buying from us, then we can be able to cope with hyper competition. Apart from hyper competition, then we now have PIMS analysis. Let me tell you the meaning of PIMS analysis. That we end our class there. We continue from the next weekend. PIMS analysis. PIMX. PIMS. It comes out in exam in strategic mind. Even when we have a CSME that was now marked with SFM, PIMS analysis comes out. And apart from ICANN asking us, when you are developing your points, when you are making vital contributions, when you are in a committee, even at work, at home, or you have your own personal business, these are times that you use now from today. That do you bother to share the PIMS analysis? So what we call PIMS analysis is a strategic planning tool that stands for P. P stands for profit. I stands for impact. The M stands for marketing. YS stands for strategy. So if you call it together, PIMS means the profit impact of marketing strategy. PIMS. P means profit impact. P means profit. I means impact. M means marketing. And YS means strategy. So PIMS is used to evaluate and assess the impact of the marketing strategy that the company implemented on profitability. That is the simple meaning. It means evaluation of the profitability impact of the marketing strategy that the company employ. So this one require the use of a database, maybe database on our sales, on cash inflow, and many more. So with the use of PIMS analysis, it will help us to know what is our market share on a particular product, what is our investment intensity and profitability. Let me give you an example of PIM analysis to save time. Last year, production year, from January 2nd up to December 22, that we close our annual operation year, the company realized $200 million as profit after tax. $200 million as profit after tax. And this profit that we realized, we still discover that some shareholders and investors are still doing that. We can do more. They are saying that we don't really meet up with the performance targets when they are doing that gap analysis. So a lot of suggestion was put in place. So this year, first quarter, we put in place aggressive marketing strategy using celebratory endorsement as promotion and product differentiation strategy. In our first quarter, the company realized over $212 million or over 200 million naira as profit after tax. So what is the significance of this scenario? The importance of this scenario is that when the company did not use any strategy, be it promotional strategy or pricing strategy, their yearly return on investment, profitability after tax is 200 million naira, for instance. But in this year that we use celebratory endorsement, we advertise and we use the likes of Davido and some of the known celebrity to launch our products. We embark on product innovation, differentiation, and use good pricing strategy. The profit we realize in first quarter surpass what we realized for a year last year. So in PIMS analysis, our focus is to have a link between profitability, market share, and the strategy that we implement. What is the significant impact of the strategy that we implemented on the profits that the company is realized? So if the company discover that the strategy they implemented did not have any significant positive effect on profitability, then they can reevaluate the strategy. That strategy can be dropped, it can be restructured, or we can think for another strategy that we can use that will improve our profitability and returns. So there is no limit to the strategy that you can use when it's come to PIMS. The company can invest on human capital so that the efficiency of their staff, their productivity, service delivery, output can increase. So this will go a long way to turn out a quality product, satisfy our customers at a profit. So there are so many areas of investment. It can be in investment in innovative technology. It's a strategy too. It can be investment in promotion that we have talked about. It's a strategy. Maybe when we do our SWOT analysis, we discover that we have weakness in the area of distribution efficiency. And this time around, we put in place a distribution networking and efficiency that guarantee optimum product delivery and synergy. Let's measure the effect of that distribution strategy that we implemented this year. That is the meaning of PIMS. Evaluating or assessing the profit impact of marketing strategy implemented by the company. So bless you all. From this place, we continue next week by looking at strategic direction. That strategic direction was formulated by Igor Ansoff. We call it growth matrix. So I will give you a comprehensive note on this that cover what we have done. I'm dropping the note immediately now. We have the answer matrix there. Please, you can read the answer ahead so that by next class we do justice to that. So I wish you the very best of luck. Enjoy the rest of the day. Is there any question before I leave the gathering of my learned and erudite scholars?
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma. I'm with you, ma.
I'm appealing. I don't know for the time. If the time can be shifted further, like say we start by 10 o'clock. That's my own opinion.
Okay, that it should be 10 to 12 or
Yes,
thereafter.
because I joined the class late, so
Yeah.
my timing I can't meet up that 8 o'clock. So
Okay.
I'm
But the
appealing. I don't
problem
know.
is an Akula tax because the very reason why before the diet start, we send a tentative timetable. Even at the Solo campus yesterday, I still have a lecturer that is appealing that we should swap time. Do you get it? Because by the time we move to 10 o'clock, there is high tendency that other lecturers might have class at that time. Some of our colleagues here too, they might have another course that they have to join online too or physical. Do you get it? And if you have it 10 to 12, I'm starting my lecture before 12 in VI. But don't worry, I will look into that, discussing with the management. Let's see if it is possible. If not, maybe you have to adjust your routine a bit. Do you get it? God will help us.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
I have a
You're welcome,
further
man.
opinion, sir.
Okay, sir.
On my own end, what can't we have on weekends like this for SFM? Can't we have a minimum of 4 hours or 3 to 4 hours class for this SFM?
Okay, 4 hours, Abi. Ah,
Yes,
okay. I will note it. On Sunday like this, do you have any lecture in the evening online?
we have 7 to 9.
We have 7 to 9 tax
7 to 9. Okay.
audit.
Audits. Okay. Okay, that's the only one you have on Sunday. 7 to 9.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Because the syllabus for SFM is so broad, so that we can finish on time and have time.
On time. God bless you. Yes, it's true.
It's so broad.
Okay. All these
Very,
things will be factored in, and I will revert.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
I
Enjoy
mean,
the rest of your day. Bless you all.
Thank
I
you very
mean,
much, sir.
maybe on a final note, in as much as we were looking for more time to actually deploy in learning more on this, I
Yes,
would
sir.
also want to, because what you have just shared today is a whole lot of things that are value add.
Thank you, sir.
Personally,
God bless you, sir.
in a company, right? So I
Yes, sir.
want us to also, sort of, we're trying to cover syllabus, and then we just gloss over it. We
Okay,
have
sir.
4 hours at a stretch. We've had a lot of information overload, such that we may not be able to make good use of it. For example, yeah, we might pass, but beyond now, we might need
Beyond now.
to
Okay.
bring some of these things such that we
Okay.
understand the values of these strategies.
Okay,
these
sir.
topics. Just
Okay.
something to also
No,
look at.
it's a good
Thank you.
contribution too. It's a good contribution. Because I could recall one of our students now. He has qualified. He's one of the regional head in Standard Chartered Bank. The man told me of recent, he traveled, we met. He told me, Mr. Ali, but that thing that you are teaching us that time is beyond the exam. You can't believe it that he went to England for a course on strategic management and what have you. That the same thing that you taught us. In fact, they don't even go deep. It's shallow. If you know the amount of millions that their company pay for them, for all the senior executive directors in the company. So I love that word that is beyond the exam, so that we can be able to retain most of these things. Some of us too, we can have our own personal business that we are doing, even in the company too, that where we are working. It really, really helps us. It's widening our horizon, including I too. You can see the interaction, how you tell me your reaction, let it go slow and whatever. That is synergy. We are working toward the same goal. And the syllabus, no matter how voluminous it is, we have that culture we are going to cover. And that's the more reason why we are more or less three anchoring SFM, me, Mr. Shwaju, and Mr. Adejuwon. So the theoretical aspects, I'm going to manage those areas, and I know by special grace of God, your success in all the courses you are doing is irreversible. God will do it.
Amen.
Okay. Bless you all. We meet next class. And then all the requests, advice, and whatever will be factored in, I will inform you. So now let me drop the material. The recorded version too will be posted to you at appropriate time. Bless you all.